Good afternoon. I'm Celeste, and this fall marks my 15-year anniversary with Lululemon, and it has been quite the ride, full of personal and professional growth, and I have loved almost every minute of it. In 2020, our company, like many others, was forced to look in the mirror as it relates to diversity and inclusion and acknowledge that we weren't where we wanted to be or where we needed to be. For me, this past year has also been one of personal reckoning. I realized I hadn't been the ally nor the advocate I could have been. Our people couldn't see themselves in all levels of our organization, and we still had work to do to go deep into our policies and practices and make change within our own walls. For a company that values people above all else, we had let many down. Now, almost a year later, and while we still have a lot more work to do, I am incredibly proud of the work we're in and what we're creating. Since June 2020, we have completed and published our first ever global demographic survey. We have committed to reflecting the communities we serve globally, and by the end of 2023, we will have racial diversity in 30% of our director and above leadership roles, as well as 40% of our store teams. And we also formally stood up our IDEA team. IDEA stands for Inclusion, Diversity, Equity, and Action. And this team is critical to enabling our company to be a place where everyone thrives. There is one person in particular that has been instrumental to me during this past year. I have known Michi Gardner-Dorsey for 9 years in her role as a store manager for Lululemon. But I didn't really get to know Michi until this past year, when she sent a letter to our CEO demanding we do more and we do better when it comes to diversity and inclusion. And talking to Michi directly, it was evident that it was time for us to let Michi use her voice and her leadership to create what was needed now for Lululemon. Michi has now moved from her role as a store manager to being a part of the leadership team on IDEA team. And there is no one better who can push us into having the uncomfortable and honest conversations that we know are needed to truly enable us to be the most inclusive culture we know we can be. Please welcome Michi.
In April of last year, I was a store manager sitting on a resignation letter. I was juggling being a leader in a health pandemic and a human feeling being in a centuries-old epidemic of racism, discrimination, aggression, and inequity. Every day, I watched my Black husband, an essential worker, leave early in the morning. My goodbye was always the same. I love you, be careful. Knowing no matter how careful he would be, wouldn't ensure him making it home each night. And through it all, I made sure my team's timesheets were taken care of. I held Zoom staff meetings to keep us connected, and I tried to come up with ways to keep them motivated, calm, and hopeful. You see, I was still the leader I had always been, but I wasn't the person I had always been. I was exhausted, I was fed up, and I wasn't feeling it anymore. Exhaustion gave way to anger. Fed up became a weight on my chest that kept my eyes open at night. And not feeling it turned into a 4-alarm fire within me that would eventually serve as the platform for not only my voice, but the voices of many others. I breathed a lot during this time. Deep, heavy, purposeful breaths. I ain't gonna lie, it didn't help. Each deep breath was a reminder of one others no longer had. The week of George Floyd's murder, in broad daylight, in the middle of a Minneapolis street for the whole world to see, Lululemon posted a message of support on social media, but we did not say the thing, and my breathing grew heavier. On June 1st, we posted again on social media. This time, we announced Black Lives Mattered. We finally had said the thing, but my breathing didn't get any easier. I wrote an email to my CEO and senior leaders with the subject, Being Black at Lululemon, What You Need to Know. After 9 years, I refused to give a hall pass to mediocrity on issues that were so very important to a segment of our collective. I was calling Lululemon and my leaders out in order for us to call ourselves in. I thought if I was struggling day to day just to breathe easy, there had to be others who were experiencing the same. I requested space alongside a mental health advocate for Black employees, and Lululemon supported me in creating the Lift Our Voices sessions. LOV, or love sessions in the immediate, were triaged to a hemorrhaging wound, but they were also safe spaces to commune, to witness each other, to heal. Instead of holding up walls, we held up each other. Instead of maintaining pain, we chose to begin to release it. It was in these spaces I restored my own breath in order to continue to create meaningful change at Lululemon. I didn't stop there. From the love sessions, other intentional platforms for various members of our collective were established, and a culture of listening, real listening, was born and continues. The impact of listening prioritized the protection and value of our BIPOC mental health in the midst of our collective trauma. And while we still have a way to go, because this work of inclusion, diversity, equity, and action never ends, what I know for sure is we are most definitely in the work. I am still here, and it's spaces like love that keep me going.